Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of 30 Minutes, the interactive program of Trust Television. I'm Manir Dan Ali, and our guest today is Senator Saidu Dansadau, an old political war horse, if I may call him that, because he was the secretary of the National Party of Nigeria in the Second Republic in old Sokoto state. That's the state that currently comprises Zamfara, Kebbi, and Sokoto itself. He was also a two-term senator in the current republic from 1999 to 2007. He's a large-scale farmer. He was a teacher, and is somebody who's been involved in Nigerian politics for quite a long time. Senator Dansadau, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Happy to be with you.
I don't know where to start, because the temptation is to start with, because Dansadau is in your name, and Dansadau is the epicenter of the whole security challenge bedeviling much of the Northwest. So I don't know whether maybe we should start from there before we go into the politics. How are things currently there?
Well, honestly speaking, there is some improvement, and there is some relative peace. In fact, like most Nigerians know, for good 10 years, people were being killed around this area on daily basis, being kidnapped on daily basis, women raped and maimed on daily basis. But as from August 16th, 2011, when the situation gets so terrible, at that point, from June to August 16th, a liter of petrol, people may not believe it, sold for between 4,000 and 5,000. If you are buying it in Dansadau, you buy it 4,000. If you are buying it in the villages around, you buy it 5,000. The situation gets so bad.
Why was it so?
The only filling, well, there are 3 filling stations in the village, and only my own was functioning, because the others, they don't have trucks to carry petrol station there. So no owner of tanker will allow his tanker to go to Dansadau. So it was only my tankers that take petroleum product to the village. And unfortunately, the bandit, you know, when they set the tanker ablaze with some 40,000 liters of petrol. Now, as a result of that, we stopped taking petrol. We say, okay, let everybody, including the bandits, let them suffer the consequences. So that's what led, you know, to that problem. So when the situation got so bad, we now resort to prayers. We said all Jumu'at mosques, all daily, five daily prayer mosques should be praying every morning from Salat Subuh up to the early morning prayers, you know, up to the time sun rises. And then after Maghrib prayer, people should remain in mosques, read the Holy Quran, do repentance, istighfar, up to the time of Isha prayer. As God will have it, within just 6 days, the leader of the bandit in the whole area called for a meeting and directed that no bandit should kidnap anybody, not to come killing anybody. So in a nutshell, they had that meeting on 16th August 2021. And since then, for good 1 year, only 7 people were killed. And only 2 motorcycles, you know, were confiscated by the bandit.
But is it still subsisting? What's the current situation now?
That's why I say for a year. The current situation is that, so people are able to farm their farmlands and so on and so forth.
Without paying protection money to the bandits.
Without paying anything for protection. But unfortunately, This year, we had that relative peace up to solid 1 year. But during the harvest in 2022, the Fulanis put their cattle in the people farms and they were grazing before people harvested. So, but that notwithstanding, we also quickly had another meeting with the leaders of the bandit, and that has stopped. And even though there is still some, hiccups here and there, but honestly speaking, there is relative peace.
Do you yourself go to Dansadau and sleep there?
Of course, of course. In fact, anytime I go, I meet in my house with a representative of the leader of the bandit.
So they are that known?
They are known. They are known.
They are from the locality, you know them, and then they are doing all the terrible things?
In fact, the Alekachala people are talking about, who was alleged to have shot down the military aircraft, was born in Dansadau territory. So all others that are there, some of them are from Moru district, they were born in Moru district. Some were born in Maradun district. So they are known from their parents.
What about Dogo Gide, the guy that is said to be holding these 11 girls from Federal Government College? Is he also from local?
He is from Bingi. Bingi is a village in Maru. He was born there. His parents are known.
But have you ever wondered why Nigeria has not been able to deal with this problem? I mean, you are from the area, you know these people even by name, by their families and all of that, which suggests that everybody knows, including the security people. And then somehow...
No, it's simple. Lack of sanction.
Define.
Lack of sanction. I tell you, these people will be arrested. In some instances, by the vigilante group. In a more number of instances, by the military. And they will be handed over to the police. And before you know it, they are released. That has been the problem. Otherwise, this problem would have become history for long.
But is it only the police? What about the judiciary? Because things take forever to happen with the judiciary. You find that somebody involved in some high crime, it takes years before the court
of course.
Gets finished.
In any organization, in any institution, there's going to be some bad eggs. In fact, there is a typically very surprising and very disturbing, instance whereby somebody came during the governorship of Abdul Aziz Yari. Somebody came and told him, there are some leaders of bandits, whose name are so-so and so-so-so. He said 6 of them. 2 are already in Sokoto, the next flight. This is the name they gave it in the passport. The next flight in Sokoto, they'll go to Saudi Arabia. 2 are in Gusau in the camp. The next bus that will take people to Sokoto, they'll be there.
Going to Saudi Arabia as well.
2, these are their names, their real names. They are in Kano. They are taking an international flight. Now the governor took immediate action. Those in Sokoto were arrested. Those in Gusau were arrested. And those in Kano had the story, and then they vanished from there. But what will surprise you? Because of the interest of the governor on this matter, he insisted. He put his eyes on the police, and the people were arraigned before a high court. Imagine, people are arrested in Sokoto, some are arrested in Gusau, and the police arraigned the people in a high court division in Kaula Namoda.
Which is in Zamfara state.
Which is in the first state as well.
Yes.
But why not in the high court in Gusau, where they were arrested? So in a nutshell, within not more than 5 days, the judge discharged and acquitted these bandits. Immediately they were out of detention. They called the person who informed the governor. Only he and governor and God. He informed the governor.
So that means the bandits have so much intelligence that they know whatever is going on.
Immediately they were released, they called the person on phone. We have seen what you have done to us. You will see what we will do to you. Within the next 2 days, they attacked his village. They were not able to kill him, but they killed 7 people, including his relatives and neighbors. It was Governor Abdul Aziz himself that was telling me this when I was advising him that make sure we get these people arraigned before the court of law and we get them convicted. I said, once you get them convicted, this thing is going to reduce drastically. And then he gave me this information. So that goes to show, if you may call it conspiracy, the judiciary, the police, and...
yeah, of course, sometimes there are the accusations that the politicians are using the bandits, and that sometimes, especially around elections, it is the bandits that help the politicians to impose their will. Is that your understanding as well?
No, but you cannot rule that out. Because somebody informed me, it's not something you can verify, that the whole, the remote causes of this armed banditry in Zamfara is an opposition party that wanted to use them to make the state ungovernable if the opposition party was defeated. But unfortunately, the opposition party won the election, defeated the incumbent. So probably there was some promises, and the opposition party that now won the election could not fulfill the promises. And the bandits now took advantage of that, you know, and they keep on threatening now the ruling government or the ruling party that if you don't do A, Y, Z, we will reveal the secret.
So given your deep knowledge of the problem, how do you think it could be solved? I mean, it's dragged on for long. It's decimated communities. Some areas, people no longer live there. Farmers cannot do their legitimate business. And I mean, the whole economy of much of the Northwest is affected, and equally the society. What can be done?
In fact, not only economy in Northwest, the economy of Nigeria. Because agricultural inputs, entrepreneurs will tell you how their turnover became so low as a result of banditry. So also, agro-processors will tell you how the scarcity of raw materials also affected their manufacturing of agro-allied product. So the issue is, at this point, is extremely difficult. It has to take multi-dimensional approach for government, or I can say for us, all Nigerians, to be able, you know, to defeat this banditry menace. Why? Because it has so expanded to the level of the locals being involved in the banditry themselves, not only the Fulani. Locals are involved in it. And now the multiplication, the multitude of informants has also made the fight against banditry most difficult.
And sometimes even the security seems to be a bit involved. Look at what
of course.
Between Nasara
security,
and
not only Nasara, security, some bad acts within the security agencies, some bad acts within the traditional rulership.
In Zamfara, a number of traditional rulers have been removed.
Of course. But for me, I always say, it is the inability of government at different levels taking necessary steps. Don't forget, the current governor set up a committee to investigate the remote and immediate causes and recommend solutions. And under former IG,
yes.
MD Abubakar, and we made far-reaching recommendations. Recommendations to the state government and recommendations to the federal government. We segmented the recommendation into two. The recommendation to federal government, we identified some bad acts in security agencies, within the military, within the police, even within the SSS. We recommended the sanctions that federal government should take appropriate action. Nothing was done. For traditional rulers, we recommended the deposition of quite a number. I can remember about 6 traditional rulers, demotion of about 2 or 3, and then district heads, about 35 of them we recommended they should be deposed, and some should be demoted to village heads, and
not much was done.
Not much was done.
I think
if our recommendations were implemented at the level of 50%, this menace would have been significantly reduced to the BRS minimum. Not only that, we even recommended reward for some traditional rulers, for some military officers, for some police officers, and for some SSs. We recommended some reward because they have done fantastically well.
Very interesting point there, but I think at this point it's good for us to go for a short break and resume the discussion after that. Welcome back. It is still 30 minutes, the interactive program of Trust Television, and our guest today is Senator Saidu Dansadau. Senator, maybe now is the right time to go to the other leg of maybe the interview, politics. Why are you lying low, or you seem to be not too involved again after being senator for 2 terms, 1999 to 2003. Later you plotted a political party, the NRM, and you don't seem to be active again. Why is that so?
No, of course, since I joined politics in 1978, I made a pledge to God that if He spares my life to reach the age of 70, I will gradually leave partisan politics. That's number one. And the most important, now I'm 72 years, 5 months. Now, the second one is the way things are happening in Nigerian politics. There is no trust. There is no true loyalty. There is
but has politics always not been like that?
No. It hasn't always been like that. I remember the First Republic, complete selfless service. There was honesty in terms of the politicians. Look at our grandfather, I would say, not even fathers. Sardana Tafawa Balewa and the rest of them. Most of them died with literally nothing. So complete selfless service. The interest of the governed is their fundamental concern. Unlike now, where everybody is just looking for money. Politics is now turned into a commercial enterprise. So I think for anybody who believes he's going to die, and there is going to be a day of judgment, and that he is going to account for all his deed here, I think he should try and distance himself from anything.
But the implication is that we will allow the bad people to prevail. Because as I say, if the good people fail to participate, then it's open sesame for the not so good.
You see, the good people, the patriotic people, the selfless people are negligibly few. They cannot make any impact. You may remember 2019, I ventured to contest for governor of Zamfara out of intense pressure. And at the voting point, people are saying, yes, we know Saidu is the best candidate, but he doesn't give money. So we'll cast our vote where we take money.
They didn't listen to those who are saying, take their money, but vote with their conscience.
No.
They voted where
they were giving money. So the good few cannot make impact, because by my own empirical assessment, I feel only probably 5% of the people in politics have this kind of commitment to God, to serve God and serve humanity.
Then how do we solve the problems in the country if there are all these terrible people who are in position to decide our fates?
You know, it's like the nature of gravity. Everything that reaches its peak, it will just begin to come down. So I think that's the only thing, as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to say, unless if people take to repentance to God, take to prayers, and then the few make concerted effort, and we get some 1 or 2 states to give an example. For example, the example of Borno, everybody is hailing Borno, the present Borno state governor. And then, remember, it wasn't easy. The present, what do you call him, Kashim, you know, the vice presidential candidate or APC, he said there are 24 governorship candidates, among them his friends, among them his classmates, among them his relatives. But he objectively selected Zulum. And because of that objectivity, God has guided Zulum, and he has blessed everything that he's doing. And that's what Tinubu did. Tinubu once told, not me, not about 5 of us. Tinubu himself, BC Akande, Nurbad, myself, and President Minister of Works and Housing helped me. Fashola. At that time, he was the governor. He said, from the day he was sworn in for the second term, he began to list possible successors. And he listed 37 from his political appointees, from his permanent secretaries, from all over. That was when he was in his second year of the second term. Then he now began to screen them. He began to screen them until they became 3. According to him, Fashola and 2 others. He didn't tell us who those 2 were.
Yeah.
And then he said he put them in his final scale of measurement. And Fashola came first.
And that is how he...
And that's how Fashola... And he pointed to Fashola and said, he doesn't know this story I'm telling you until today. So, if we begin to have some serving governors who will objectively be choosing their successors in the manner of Kashim, I tell you, we are going to get out of this. But because good people are there, honest people are there, but people don't like them.
What seems to be happening is that the governors are becoming like emperors. That's what people are saying, because you find that the governors do what they want in their state. They appoint who they want, remove who they want. The state assemblies are literally in their pocket. No speaker or member can disagree, otherwise he will find himself in the cold. Why is it that in this current republics, the governors have become so powerful to the extent, even under Obasanjo, they were like calling the shots, even with the president?
No, you see, my opinion is that the executive, what do you call it, presidential system,
yes,
you know, has given so much power to governors and the president. So much so that unless somebody has enjoyed the guidance and the blessing of God, it's very easy for one to turn into an emperor. But the beauty of sustainable democracy, you begin to get pockets of people doing the right thing. So if this democracy continues, which you hope it will, for the first time we have 24 years of
unbroken
sustainable democracy, and that's why we have had Tinubu, and look at what Lagos is today. Now, if Zulum does the same thing, so we have the second Lagos in Borno, and I hope we are going to get another state, another governor, to do what Tinubu did and what Kashim did, either in the southeast or in the south-south or in the northwest. The moment we begin to get pocket of this, at the end of the day, we will have the right. Again, it's political parties. In my party, you are talking about sister assemblies becoming parastatal of the executive arm of government. Yes. In my own party that you said, if I was to become governor, is people who retired as federal permanent secretaries or MDs of federal parastatal that I will make it contest for State House of Assembly. Majority of them. And the same thing, majority of such are those who I will make to contest for local government election.
But won't you have a big pushback because the society wants to see ordinary members who are giving them
the way the governors push
stomach infrastructure?
Look, the way the governors become emperors, I will become an emperor in this direction. Do you know the beauty of it? If you are federal, retired federal permanent secretary, a chairman of local government, who is that governor that will take his money, the money of his local government? He will accept that, especially if you have like 4 or 5 in the state, you know? And our intention was to make majority of them. Also, if you have a retired permanent secretary, a member of such House of Assembly, who is that governor at the age of 50 or 40 something, or even 60, that will make State House Assembly an appendage of the executive of government? So the main fault is with political parties.
How were you able to withstand your governor, that is Ahmed Sani Riman Bakura, when he offered you a car and you turned it down? You were a member of the federal legislature, and that was the normal thing to get legislators even at the federal level more or less in the pocket of the state governor.
No, that was not anything of a challenge. There are so many challenges that I faced when Yerima was the executive governor, but I don't think it's for discussing here. I'm writing my
memoirs.
I think it will feature there. Then even people of Zamfara will know what actually happened, that they will know what I actually face. But let me just give you one. He set so many traps. When I was sent, he was governor for me, and God saved me from all but one.
And we read about that in the memoir?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. The one that I couldn't escape is after finishing my second term, the election year.
2007, yes.
I made it known to everybody that I'm not contesting for third term. It's enough, because my opinion is always, when you serve, give opportunity to others also. No matter how intelligent you are, no matter how well you have done, if you give opportunity to others, there are others that can also do better for you. That's how I believe.
A minister
of Information, Joanna Abacha, is my very, very good friend.
Yes, who used to be the NTA DG. I am also getting blank with his name. That's Walter.
So in any case,
Walter of Ofanagoro.
No, not Walter.
Oh, not Walter.
Not Walter
Ofanagoro.
So he brought up the discussion. So the two of them were on my neck. No, they couldn't convince me yet. I said, okay, I have my senior brother who is like my father. I already told him. So I'll have to just go and tell him.
Was it Shinkafi? Umaru Shinkafi?
No, not Umaru Shinkafi. Right. Umaru Shinkafi is close associated who turned to be a senior brother.
Right.
My biblical, the same father and mother. So when I went and told him, he said, you shouldn't be a devil. You don't want to do something which is for good. But people are saying you are doing well. Please. Now, when I accepted to run for the third term.
And fell into the trap.
That's the trap.
Yes.
So he anointed somebody else. When I discovered he anointed somebody else, I wrote a letter that I have withdrawn my candidature. After I paid money for form and all things, when they sent a letter to me that so date is for primaries, I now wrote a letter that I have withdrawn from the candidature.
Very interesting story that probably will take up at the maybe next meeting when you appear again on this program. Senator Saidu Dansadau, thank you very much for coming to 30 Minutes.
Thank you very much indeed. Happy to be with you in this program.
Viewers, that is the end of this edition of 30 Minutes. Keep a date with us.